Do not trust your doctor, honestly.
They're purposely putting stuff in our food that causes disease.
So we all already know that Big Pharma is a complete scam, yeah? They make all of their money by getting people sick and then trying to force us to buy healthcare, buy medication that doesn't even necessarily get us better. It only makes us feel better. They give us pills and medication that just regulate the symptoms but never actually fix the root cause of why we're feeling the way we're feeling. It's an entire system designed to keep people sick so that we keep going back to them to feel better. Now, I came across this video titled "Nurses and Doctors Are Finally Speaking Out About What's Really Going On." You know things are getting bad when the people who are involved in the big pharma system are exposing the system itself. Leave a like down below. Get this video to as many people as possible just to spread awareness of the country that we live in. But check this out, y'all.
The United States is epically failing with preventative care. I think we all know that. It's really good at causing disease and managing the decline of disease, but actually educating people on how to eat, how to move their body, how to live day to day, and just basically survive as a human being, as the biological organisms that we are, failing. Epic. We are the most unhealthy, medicated society out there. It's just crazy to me that people still don't see it. And it's just crazy to me that we're still pushing a medicated society. And not a lot of people are just talking about going back to the basics, about how humans, our ancestors, lived. Basic things: sunlight, rest, movement, real food. I don't know. It's just a thought that I was having, and I get that we need more preventative care. We need to be talking about the causation of everything. They're purposely putting stuff in our food that causes disease. Our air is polluted. It's causing.
I need to hear her say that again. I'm sorry. I just need to hear her say it one more time.
The causation of everything. They're purposely putting stuff in our food that causes disease. Our air is polluted. It's causing disease. I've talked about this before in my videos, but it's just so important. We need to talk about it like every day because it's a huge problem.
Doctors are leaving corporate medicine in droves, and that has escalated in the past 3 years. You wonder why. So those that finally realized that what they were taught was really indoctrination, start doing their own thing, and they start thinking for themselves. So from a doctor that I think this year left his practice to start his own, and this is what he said: 6 years of medical school, 4 years of specialty, 26 years of medical practice. It was all a lie. And it took me that long to realize, and 95% of my colleagues have not realized. But I'll start.
It took him 6 years plus 4, that's 10, 36 years to realize that he was stuck in an indoctrination, bro.
My good practice at the age of 58, never mind, I'll fix my sins. I remember skimming through a book years ago written by an MD who decided to become a chiropractor. Many people asked him why he'd made the switch. As it puzzled many, his answer was, I realized I had spent years mopping up the floor when I could have just turned off the faucet.
Here's why nurses are actually quitting. And no, it's not because we're lazy or we don't love the job. Let's be real about why so many of us are walking away from the profession. Reason number one is unsafe staffing. Almost every nurse I know says their unit is short. You walk into a shift already behind, 4 or 5 really sick patients in the ER or ICU with no tech, no secretary, and leadership still claiming it's safe on paper. You're set up to fail before you even hang your first med. Reason number 2 is burnout and mental health. Burnout isn't just being tired. It's that mix of physical exhaustion, emotional numbness, and this voice in your head that's just saying, you're failing everybody. You go home wired and empty at the same time. You're snapping at your family, sitting in your car after a shift, just staring, trying to convince yourself to go back tomorrow. Reason number 3, toxic leadership and gaslighting. You speak up about patient safety and ratios and get told that's just how it is. You'll toughen up. We all did. They send out self-care emails and pizza parties while ignoring every single thing we're telling them.
Pizza.
And we tell them,
They still got people. I remember in middle school, Pizza Party Fridays was ecstatic. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they're still trying to keep us in control with pizza parties makes me feel like pizza parties is a part of the Matrix, bro. I don't want to be the one to drag it, but we were programmed from young that pizza party was something to celebrate, something to be excited about, something where all the employees get together, all the students get together, have fun, you know, talk, chill. They're still doing that? They're still running the pizza party play on y'all? They still got the pizza party play in motion? That's insane, bro.
everything that's about what's really going on at the bedside.
Crazy. The pizza party play, bro.
Reason number 4 is work and family. I mean, you work 12-hour shifts that turn into 14, rotating days and nights, back-to-back weekends. That might be survivable when you're 22 with no responsibilities. Try doing that with kids or as a new dad or while taking care of your own parents. At some point, you have to pick your job or being present for your actual life. That's why nurses are quitting. Not because we woke up one day and stopped caring. It's because caring in this system costs you your body, your brain, and your family. While the people in charge refuse to change anything that matters. If this sounds like your last shift, tell me in the comments, what kind of unit are you on?
So you're telling me, not only are they ripping off their patients by having them have exponentially higher insurance rates because they care more about treating the symptoms rather than fixing the problems. That's a complete scam. But they're also scamming their employees because they're giving them bare minimum staffing to a point where they can't even handle and manage the workload that they're given. So in other words, the only people who win from this entire equation is them. The only people who benefit are them, the people above. Because I know people who have a pile of pills to take every single day, but yet they still refuse to hit the gym. They still refuse to change their eating habits. And it's partially because, number one, they were never taught, right? But number two, all these pills are causing them to have lack of energy, lack of motivation, lack of self-drive. All these pills are causing to fuck with their mental health. All these pills are causing all these secondary side effects. You need to take this pill for your blood pressure, but then you need to take this pill because the blood pressure pill is going to cause depression. So now you need the antidepressant. But since you're taking the blood pressure and the antidepressant, your blood is going to be too thin. So now you need a coagulant pill so that you make sure that your blood is at a healthy flow rate. And then that's going to give you heart problems. So now you also need to take this pill just in case you catch a heart attack. And all the you're just pill on pill on pill on pill on pill. Side effect on side effect. It's just insane, bro.
What's the number one thing pushing you out? No hospital names, just real reality, just your reality.
Can we talk about how physicians are not examining their patients anymore? That's like a thing of the past. When I see patients, every single patient gets in a gown and they're examined from head to toe. And patients will ask, what are you going to do to me? And I'll ask them, hasn't your other doctors been examining you? And they're like, no, they just sit and talk to me. And so as consumers, I think you have to raise the bar, demand better care. Why are physicians not examining their patients, getting them into a gown, taking their clothes off? Doesn't make any sense. The standards are being watered down. Sorry.
That man looks like he likes examining too much. I would not want you to examine me, my boy. I would not want you to examine me.
My wife and I just got a letter from United Healthcare telling us that they're denying coverage for our twins stay in the NICU. And if you thought that was inhumane, you're right. But listen to this. They didn't address it to me or my wife, like human adults. They addressed the letter to the baby.
Twin A.
Sadly, I guess it is appropriate that our preemie baby's first experience in the world is having its healthcare coverage denied. I guess my only other question for United Healthcare is that if the baby was still in the womb, would you have sent the letter to my wife and had her eat it in order to get it to the baby?
So after helping hundreds of people get results just like this, I'm going to be giving you guys access to the entire business system that allows you to make money directly from your phone. And the best part about this is that 90% of the business is already done for you. If it sounds too good to be true, then just click the link down below. See for yourself. There are ordinary people who are making thousands of dollars a day by just implementing the system that we give you. It's 2026, guys. I think that we both already know that starting an automated online business is the best opportunity to create financial freedom and the peace of mind that you are looking for. And let's just say that you decide to take the next step. I'll even send you over a discount code that is risk-free. It's time to stop watching other people make millions and start creating the life that you want for yourself. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in our next group call. But let's get back to this video.
I'm really starting to develop an unhealthy distrust of medical professionals at this stage in my life. I feel as if recently, within the past 6 months, I have at worst case been lied to by medical professionals, and in the most favorable, fair light to them, information has definitely been omitted to me. I've been lied to, or I guess not told the full facts about my GLP-1 coverage due to my obesity and comorbid conditions. The full facts, that was for my primary care. The next instance I've been lied to or omitted from was when I signed up for Invisalign. I need to correct my bite due to my TMJ issues, and they didn't go over the pros and cons of Invisalign, what my other options were for like traditional braces, not just Invisalign. They didn't advise me, like, I won't get into my Invisalign, but I've just been having a really bad experience with doctors not being truthful or forthcoming with me. And it's really frustrating because I don't know what questions to ask the doctor. I'm assuming that because, like, they're my doctor, like, all of this goes to the fact that, unfortunately, in the medical professional, I'm seeing in real time an increase of being treated like a customer instead of a patient. And a lot of people like to talk shit about attorneys, being liars and like don't trust an attorney. Do not trust your doctor, honestly. If it involves you paying out of pocket for anything, do not trust your doctor. If there is a high copay or something, do not trust your doctor. And that is sad. And another example as to why we're in late stage capitalism and why we need to socialize healthcare. Because, like, I should not be
Do not socialize shit. Anybody who tries to push an agenda for socialization, do not socialize shit, bro. If they socialize healthcare, the biggest industry of this country, everything else would be socialized. Everything would be a equal, what is it called? Everything would just be equal amongst everybody. If they do that, that will give the government the highest level of fucking control, bro. I don't want that. I don't want the government to control us more than they already do, bro. You think that because you're gonna have more options, that means more control. That's what that means, bro. If the government is able to tell you what the standard is, they're going to tell you what you can and can't do. They're going to tell you what you can and can't work. They're going to tell you how you can and can't live. Pretty soon you're going to have a picture of Donald Trump in your fucking house just to make the government officials happy, bro. I'm not with that shit. I'm not with it, bro. And Big Pharma, they don't take advantage of people who are paying out of pocket. Big Pharma takes advantage of people who are paying for insurance because they know that the insurance are willing to pay. The insurance companies are willing to pay. They know that. You pay your premiums. As long as you pay your premiums, the big pharma companies are going to get their money collected by the insurance companies, bro. They already know that they're going to get their money paid. If you're paying out of pocket, you're most likely going to get sent to a debt collector, right? Most people don't pay their medical bills. They get sent to a debt collector, and then you get the debt collection wiped off by someone who does credit repair and all that bullshit. They don't care about that. They want their money. So they're going to do it better through insurance because insurance is a guaranteed check. That's how they take advantage of you, bro.
Bottom line.
I don't know what this girl's talking about. She just sounds salty.
My number in my healthcare.
In case you're wondering what it's like to live in the United States of America, I talked to a doctor on the phone for 10 minutes. Literally, I'm not exaggerating, 10 minutes, so that she could prescribe me antibiotics because I was shitting my brains out. And I got charged $400
$400 for the call. I double checked with my insurance and I double checked with the clinic, and they both agreed this is how much it's gonna cost. My insurance covered $37 of the 400. Okay, so I'm basically begging the clinic, hey, do you think you could like code this differently so it's cheaper? And the clinic's like, well, we have a cash pay option. We can just rescind the claim to your insurance and it'll be $120. It just won't count towards your deductible. Are you okay with that? Okay, so first of all, why didn't you lead with the $120 cash pay option that is significantly like literally a quarter of the original thing I was supposed to pay? Second, why do I have insurance? Why do I have insurance if it's literally cheaper for me to just pay for the visit? I'm not crazy, right? This is crazy, right?
It's a scam.
Happy 4th of July. And I am doing the cash pay, by the way.
Who else is just as annoyed as I am that when you got to make a doctor's appointment, you don't get the girls behind the desk at reception anymore? No, every single doctor is now part of this big corporation where there's somebody in Oshkosh, USA that is making your appointments, okay? Gone are the days when I used to be able to call up and say, oh, hi, Cheryl, it's Deb. How are you? Can you do not even to make an appointment? What if I have a question for the doctor? You got to do a song and a dance to get to the office. I can't stand it. It makes me insane. And it's not just that. I had to call a company yesterday, right? I needed a piece of paper, a statement. I said, could you just mail it to me, please? Oh, we don't do that anymore. Well, what? I said, okay, well then can you email it to me and I'll print it? Oh, we don't do that. You got to log on and you got to create an account and I said, are you kidding? No. Oh, I'll stay on the line. I'll walk you through it. It took 54 minutes of my life to create this account. You know why? Because there were 54 glitches. That's why. You know what I said to her? I said, honey, guess what? You know what doesn't glitch? Paper. Paper don't glitch. How about that?
Nah, I like her.
My husband and I
Paper.
decided we were done
Paper.
with insurance, health insurance, so we just opted out. And our premium was going to go up $500 a month for a family of 4. But anyway, we're like, screw this. We'll just pay cash. I just had a mammogram. And what they charge your insurance, I got a letter that was like, oh, your estimated cost is $800. And I'm like, cheaper than what we were paying for our monthly premium. So I'll deal with it. And I get in here and they were like, oh, this is what the cost of a mammogram is, $1,500. But since you're no insurance, we are charging you $95. But since you're paying cash, you are only charged $75. And I'm just like,
told you.
Insurance is a scam.
Told you.
It's a scam. Same thing with my...
So with insurance, it costs $1,500. $1,500. Without insurance, it costs $75. The only reason why I know is because there was one time that I got into a car accident, right? And I know health insurance and fucking car insurance are two different things, but it made me realize the insurance game, not so much the industry of car versus medical, just the insurance game, right? So I got into a car accident. There was a guy who was like, yo, listen, the guy who hit me or fucked up my car, he was like, yo, listen, I'm going to put it through my insurance. Just let me know however much it costs, and I'm going to send that insurance over to my bill. They'll take care of it, and then I'll pay the premium. I was like, okay, cool. Went to the guy. I went to the mechanic. The mechanic quoted me for a certain amount. He was like, yo, listen, honestly speaking, you can upgrade what you had. Like, you can get better parts, better system, better this, better that. It's going to be a little bit more, but it doesn't really matter because the guy's insurance is going to cover it anyway. I was like, all right, fuck it. Upgrade my whole whip. So I upgraded my whip. New LED lights, new front bumper, new emblems, new everything. My shit looking good. Looking good. And all he did was send over a cost sheet for how much everything cost, sent it over to the guy's insurance, and the insurance took care of it, and he paid like a $50 premium. In other words, the mechanic got paid from the insurance. This guy just paid $50 premium. So that made me realize sometimes it's better as a mechanic, as a doctor, as a clinic, as a medical practitioner, it's better sometimes to go through insurance because you can charge more and collect more versus trying to make somebody pay in person. And like I said, most people don't pay. Most people are gonna ignore the bill. Most people are gonna let it go to collections. Then they're gonna get their debt wiped. Like that's how it goes, bro. But insurance is a funny game. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna end this video here, okay? This is the reality of what's going on in the medical field. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe. And I'm gonna catch you on the next one, man. Peace.